What's the worst example of cognitive dissonance you've seen in real life? My alcoholic husband, who is completely off the rails and rapidly drinking himself to death and tearing my and our kids' hearts apart, sitting in his chair rambling on about how sorry he feels for a friend who is dealing with a loved one's drug addiction. People complaining about other people's driving while committing the same errors, but it's okay because they are in a hurry. SO's grandmother died this year of cancer that she had for 10 years. She refused to get treated, refused X-rays, because she believed X-rays would give her cancer. Edit, wow, 10,000 upvotes. This is a true story. Happened late winter this year. There is a lot more to the story, and I'm not the sort to tell lies about how wonderful the dead were. People on government disability payments talking about cutting welfare. When the pandemic started, a friend of mine got really obsessed with the fact that you can't leave your home or go near people without a mask, etc. Only thing is it never reflected in his own actions. He judged others, but did not follow guidelines himself. He worked at a grocery store at the time and refused to wear a mask his boss told him to wear, meanwhile complaining about people coming to the store without masks and putting his health at risk. Me, continuing to log in to Reddit every day. An American flag next to Confederate flag. They were opposite sides of the same war. Hitler didn't kill any Jews, and he didn't kill enough. Said by a relative, we're German. And to be clear, technically, A, Hitler didn't kill any Jews personally, as far as I'm aware, B, 0 is never enough if you desire any positive number, and C, he said it to me, and it was unmistakable how he actually meant it. Oh, and D, the guy just isn't smart enough to intentionally imply this technicality. This weather is crazy. It was never like this when I was a kid meets climate change is a hoax. Brexit voters who live in Spain and other parts of the EU. Voting to kick out foreigners without realizing that they are the foreigners is peak cognitive dissonance. Illegal immigrants are taking our jobs. I wouldn't have a problem with illegal immigrants if they would work instead of coming here to live off of welfare. Said within minutes of each other out of the same mouth. Simultaneously a Chinese bioweapon and just a cold. People who purport to live their lives like Jesus, and yet are hateful and judgmental, and non-accepting, which is the exact opposite of what the man was about, historically. Person, I don't like black people, because so many of them commit crimes, and are in jail, for dealing drugs. Me, but your son got 10 years, for major drug dealing. Person, yeah, but that's different. I will never forget this interaction with a human equivalent of a paper cut. So, are you getting the vaccine now that you're pregnant? No. I don't know what it'll do to my baby. Immediately, takes a drag from a cigarette. My brother sarcastically yelling, well, maybe I have mental issues too. Moments before kicking my door in half and threatening to attack me. Teachers supporting policymakers who want to cut education funding. A neighbor complaining about increasing homelessness, and then talking about how she can barely afford her mortgage payments on her rental property ever since interest rates rose higher. I'm not allowed to raise the rent past a certain amount, so now I'm paying the mortgage out of my pocket. My mother told me that many years ago, our family had the children taken and forced to go to a Catholic boarding school. She told me that they cut their hair, beat the kids if they spoke their native language, and forced them to read the Bible and forced out our native belief. The term I've heard is, they sewed the Bible into their hands. They even outright murdered many kids while not telling the parents anything. I was already horrified, but then my mother told me that we're a Catholic family that believes in Jesus. My mom who rushes to do all the chores herself and then complains when nobody else does them. And then if someone else does it she complains that it's not being done the way she does it. Anti-choicers who've had abortions in the past. They're infuriating. Apparently it's okay for them, because they've since repented. These women knew exactly what it felt like to experience an unwanted or unplanned pregnancy. They knew exactly what it was like to feel trapped and afraid, so they made the conscious decision to end their pregnancies legally and safely. Their bodily autonomy was respected and they were able to get on with their lives, yet they had absolutely zero sympathy or understanding when other women wished to do the same. Conservatives decrying they want government to leave them alone while supporting bans on gay marriage, access to women's health, etc. People who tell me, "It was nice to meet you."